Have you ever felt the weight of a gaze you couldn't see? A silent presence tracking your every step, a chill that isn't cold, but ancient. That's not your imagination. That's not paranoia. Someone is watching you, not because of what you've said or done, but because of what you carry inside you. There is a power in you that they can't explain, a force they can't control, and a light they can't extinguish. And that terrifies them. Today you will uncover why your very presence shifts the atmosphere, why rooms feel different when you enter, why some are drawn to you, while others recoil without reason. You will see why the shadows that hide in men's hearts flinch when you pass, and why your existence itself has become a threat to forces you never invited into your life. This is not an accident, and it is not random. You are not like the rest. You never were. And by the end of this message, you will know exactly why your name is whispered in rooms you've never entered. Stay here. Every second matters. Because what I'm about to reveal will not just explain your life, it will unlock the next stage of your destiny. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment 99 below. Because in the language of heaven, 99 means the shepherd has not forgotten the one who is set apart. There is something about you, something you cannot see in the mirror. Yet it announces itself the moment you walk into a room. You don't have to speak. You don't have to try. Before you even open your mouth, the atmosphere shifts and people's spirits react. This is the invisible mark you carry, a spiritual signature written not in ink, but in light. It is heaven's own fingerprint pressed into the depths of your soul. It's not in your face, your clothes, or your skills. It's deeper, older, more permanent. It's a code written in eternity, recognized by both angels and demons the moment you step into their sphere. Think about it. In a pitch-black room, it only takes the smallest flame to change everything. Darkness can be thick, suffocating, and ancient. But the instant a light appears, it becomes impossible to ignore. That is you. You are that flicker that cuts through shadows. The world may not know why it stares, but it cannot pretend you're not there. Some will feel warmth in your presence without understanding why. Others will feel their hidden rot exposed, even if you've never looked their way. This mark is not a decoration, it is a declaration. It silently announces, this one belongs to heaven. This one has been set apart. And because of it, the truth you carry becomes unbearable for those who have made their home in lies. They can feel it before you speak a word, the way a predator senses danger before it sees it. The dishonest, the corrupt, the spiritually dead, they'll glance at you and feel a strange unease. They may not even know your name, but they know you're not one of them. And that is enough to draw out their masks and expose their true nature. It works both ways. Your mark also attracts those who are searching for light, even if they don't understand what they're drawn to. People may seek your company without knowing why they feel safe around you. They may find themselves opening up to you in ways they've never done before. They think it's your kindness, your listening ear, but what they are really responding to is the resonance of heaven inside you. This is why you must never underestimate the silent warfare around your life. Your mark reveals the hearts of those around you, without permission, without warning, without effort. And every time it does, lines are drawn in the spirit. Allies appear, enemies reveal themselves, and you begin to see who's truly for you and who only pretended to be. But here is the mystery. The more you walk in alignment with your calling, the brighter this mark becomes. And the brighter it becomes, the more the invisible world pays attention. Heaven watches, hell notices, and the unseen begins to move. You might think you're walking into an ordinary day, but in reality, the moment your foot crosses a threshold, the entire room shifts, because the mark you carry cannot be hidden. And right now, as you listen to these words, that mark is glowing brighter than it has in years, which means that in the days ahead, some people are about to reveal themselves in ways you never expected. The question is, will you be ready when they do? Darkness does not hate you because of your mistakes. It fears you because of your truth. And the most dangerous thing about you is that you don't even have to open your mouth to make that truth felt. When you walk into certain spaces, the air thickens. Conversations shift. Smiles become tighter. Glances become sharper. And suddenly, people start fidgeting as if you've pulled back a curtain they were desperate to keep closed. It's not about who you are on the surface. It's not your personality, your tone, or even your intentions. It's what your presence reveals, without effort, without warning, without apology. You carry a light that operates like a spiritual searchlight. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't ask questions. It simply shines, and in shining, it exposes what's been hiding in the shadows. Those who live in deception, in compromise, in secret rebellion, they feel this without understanding it. They might say they just don't like your vibe, or they can't put their finger on it. But what's really happening is this. The darkness in them has recognized the light in you, and it is deeply uncomfortable. This is why the possessed man in Gadara screamed the moment Jesus stepped on shore. Jesus hadn't preached yet. He hadn't called him out. But the presence of pure light was unbearable to the spirits that had made that man their home. They didn't hate his words. They hated his essence. And the same happens with you. When the early disciples, Peter and John, stood before the council, the rulers and elders couldn't ignore the reality. These men have been with Jesus. They could see it. They could feel it. And that recognition was enough to unsettle every corrupt agenda in the room. When you carry this kind of presence, you are no longer just another person in the crowd. You are a disruption to the atmosphere. Those who have built their lives on lies will instinctively try to discredit you, distract you, or distance themselves from you, because being near you forces them to confront truths they've spent years avoiding. They may try to mask it with politeness, humor, or fake smiles, but underneath, there is tension. The irony is, you don't even have to target them. You're not out here trying to expose anyone, but your life, your integrity, your alignment with truth, all of it becomes a mirror, and mirrors make the dishonest deeply uneasy. It's not that you judge them. It's that your very existence challenges the false comfort they've built around themselves. Some will leave your life without warning. Others will try to undermine you quietly. And a few will react openly, almost aggressively, as if you've attacked them, when all you did was simply be. That is the nature of light. It forces every hidden thing into visibility, whether it wants to be seen or not. This is why you must understand, their discomfort is not your problem to fix. You were never called to make the darkness feel safe. You were called to make the darkness retreat. And every time you stand firm in who you are, every time you refuse to dim your light to blend in, you fulfill that calling. But be aware, the more you grow, the more this reaction will intensify. And soon, you're going to notice people revealing where they truly stand, not with words, but with how they handle your presence. Some will draw closer, some will distance themselves, and a few will show you a side you never imagined they had. And when that moment comes, you will realize that the battle was never about you at all. It was always about the light you carry, and the shadows that can no longer hide in it. The most dangerous enemies you will face are not the ones who shout in your face. They are the ones who smile while sharpening the knife behind their back. This is the realm of the silent opposition. They won't always announce themselves. In fact, their strategy is to stay invisible while slowly trying to weaken you from the shadows. It starts with little things, subtle shifts in tone, the kind of whispers that never make it to your ears but are designed to stain your name in someone else's. You may notice people avoiding your gaze, or keeping you out of certain conversations, or downplaying your achievements in a way that seems harmless on the surface. But it's not harmless at all. Understand this. Jealousy rarely looks like rage in the beginning. It often disguises itself as concern or advice. Insecurity doesn't always scream. Sometimes it speaks in a quiet, calculated voice designed to make you second-guess yourself. And hidden agendas? They don't come in with a banner. They hide in the smiles of people who clap for you in public, but compete with you in private. Why? because they see something you don't always see in yourself. They don't fear who you are right now. They fear who you are becoming. They fear your potential, the version of you that hasn't even stepped into full power yet. They know that if you ever realize just how much influence, authority, and purpose you carry, you will be unstoppable. And their entire game is to keep you from reaching that realization. This is why you must remember, a fruitless tree is never stoned. No one wastes energy attacking what has no value. The fact that you are facing resistance, even in subtle, almost invisible forms, is proof that you carry something worth stopping. They sense it, they can't name it, but they feel it in their bones. And that fear drives them to act before you have even taken your next step. The silent opposition plays a long game. They will test your patience, hoping you explode so they can paint you as unstable. They will quietly remove your name from opportunities, thinking you won't notice. They will twist your words when you're not in the room, just enough to plant seeds of doubt in others' minds. It's all designed to slow your momentum, to distract you, to drain your energy on battles that don't matter, so you don't have the strength left for the ones that do. And here's the truth that turns the game upside down. Their every move is confirmation. They are proving your significance with each act of sabotage. They wouldn't be plotting if you were irrelevant. They wouldn't be whispering if you posed no threat. The fact that they feel the need to hide their opposition shows they already know they can't stop you in the open. They have to operate in the shadows because your light would expose them too quickly. So let them whisper. Let them avoid you. Let them quietly build their little walls. Every brick they lay is a sign you're worth containing. Every rumor they spread is a free advertisement of your importance. What they don't realize is that while they are busy plotting in silence, your roots are growing deeper, your foundation is becoming stronger, and your reach is expanding beyond their sight. But make no mistake, there will come a moment when their subtlety will break. And when it does, you will see their faces clearly. And in that moment, you will know exactly why the battle has followed you for so long, and why it's about to intensify. The enemy knows something that many of the chosen ones forget. He cannot erase your calling. He cannot strip away the anointing that heaven placed on you before you were even born. He can't delete your destiny from the book of life. So, if he can't stop your mission, he'll try to stop your mind. That is the battlefield he chooses. That is where the real war is fought. This is why his strategy often comes dressed in the ordinary. He doesn't always show up with horns and fire. Sometimes he shows up as a friend who suddenly doubts your vision, a family member who tells you to be realistic, or an unexpected opportunity that pulls you just far enough off track to drain your momentum. His greatest weapon isn't destruction, it's distraction. If he can't break you, he'll try to bend you until you forget the direction you were heading. Discouragement is his opening move. It can arrive in the form of sudden setbacks, unanswered prayers, or a sense that nothing you're doing is making a difference. You'll start hearing a whisper in the back of your mind. Why keep going? Who are you fooling? Maybe you misheard God. Maybe you're not chosen after all. And before you know it, you're spending more time doubting your assignment than fulfilling it. This is not new. It's ancient. Look at Nehemiah rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem. His enemies couldn't physically overpower him, so they tried everything else. They mocked him to break his confidence. They sent false messages to distract him. They spread rumors to ruin his credibility. They even plotted harm to make him afraid. And yet Nehemiah never came down from the wall. He didn't let their words rearrange his focus. He knew the truth. The only way they could win was if they convinced him to stop building. And so it is with you. The enemy can't dismantle what God is constructing in your life, so he works overtime to lure you into dismantling it yourself. He knows that if your faith wavers, your hands will slow. If your focus scatters, your progress will stall. If your confidence cracks, your vision will blur. And he's patient. He's willing to chip away little by little, day after day, until you are too exhausted to notice that you've been standing still. The danger here is subtle. You may think you're taking a break, when in reality, you've been quietly removed from the battlefield. You may think you're reconsidering your options, when in truth, you're letting fear dictate your next move. The devil doesn't need to push you backward. He just needs to keep you from moving forward. And the moment you understand this, his grip begins to weaken. Because the truth is, every delay, every distraction, every wave of doubt is actually a compliment in disguise. It means your progress has been noticed. It means your mission has become too loud to ignore. It means that what you are building threatens the structures of darkness more than you realize. So when the whispers get louder, when the distractions multiply, when the discouragement feels heavier than usual, know this: you are closer to breakthrough than you've ever been. That's why the attack is intensifying. That's why the pressure is mounting. Because the enemy knows something he desperately hopes you'll forget. If you keep building, if you keep moving, if you refuse to step down from your wall, there is nothing in hell or on earth that can stop what God has put in motion. And right now, you're about to see exactly why the enemy has been so desperate to keep your mind occupied. Because the part of your mission he fears most hasn't even begun yet. Resistance is not always a sign that you're doing something wrong. More often, it's heaven's signature proving you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You see, the enemy doesn't waste resources on the irrelevant. He doesn't launch storms against empty ships. If the winds are howling in your direction, it's because your course is set towards something powerful. And if God has allowed the storm, it's because he already knows you have the faith to walk on its waves. Think about it. David was anointed long before he ever saw the throne. And what happened after his anointing? Goliath appeared. Saul's jealousy burned. Battles he didn't start began to find him. Why? Because the crown was already in the spirit before it ever touched his head. Resistance arrived as confirmation that his destiny had been noticed and feared. This is the same for you. The attacks, the criticism, the sudden challenges, they are not proof of your weakness. They are evidence of your impact. You don't get opposition for standing still. You get opposition for moving forward. You don't get arrows fired at you in the shadows unless your light has started to shine too brightly to ignore. Every obstacle you face is like a prophetic headline in the spiritual realm. This one is advancing. This one is dangerous to the darkness. And here's the part they'll never admit. Those watching you, those whispering about you, those trying to undermine you, they're paying you the highest compliment possible. They've identified you as a threat before you've even reached your full strength. They are reacting to your potential, not just your present. What they fear is not who you are today, but who you are about to become. So instead of letting resistance drain you, use it as fuel. When doubt tries to settle in, remember Nehemiah, building with one hand while holding a weapon in the other. When discouragement whispers that you're wasting your time, remember Jesus in the boat during the storm, resting, because he knew the waves were powerless against his mission. If the storm was truly meant to destroy you, it would have been allowed to swallow you already. The fact that you're still standing means it's not there to end you. It's there to elevate you. Here's the prophetic truth. Every set of eyes watching you will soon witness the very victory they feared. The ones who bet against you will see the table God sets before you. The ones who tried to bury you will have to watch you bloom from the very ground they thought was your grave. The ones who prayed for your downfall will have to sit in the audience when God publicly fulfills what he promised you in private. And in that moment, you won't even need to say, "I told you so." Your life will speak for itself. Your persistence will echo louder than their doubt. Your breakthrough will be the loudest sermon they've ever heard. So keep walking, keep building, keep shining. Because the resistance you feel today is the proof that tomorrow's victory has already been set in motion. And when it arrives, it will not be small, it will not be quiet, it will be undeniable. And soon, very soon, you will understand why the battle had to be this intense. You were never placed on this earth to shrink so others could feel safe in their darkness. You were never chosen to hide, to mute your voice, or to dilute the fire that heaven placed in your spirit. You are not here to dim your light for the comfort of the blind. You are here to blaze so fiercely that every shadow in your path is forced to scatter. You carry the kind of presence that shakes foundations without a single word, the kind of truth that makes the enemy tremble before you even take a step. Let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them plot and doubt and hope for your fall, because what they fear, they cannot stop. Every attempt to break you will only reveal how unbreakable you are. Every storm sent to drown you will only prove that you can walk on the waves. Every wall they build will become the stage God uses to show the world exactly who you are. Hear this as prophecy over your life. The one who called you has already written your victory. The ink is dry. The outcome is settled. Your light is unstoppable. Your mission is irreversible, and your destiny is non-negotiable. No power in hell, no scheme of man, no shadow in the valley can erase what heaven has sealed. So stand tall, burn brighter, speak with the authority of one who knows that eternity is on their side, because the time for hiding is over. The time for apologizing is over. The time for questioning if you are enough is over. You are not just enough. You are appointed, anointed, and unshakable. If you know this word is for you, declare it out loud and write it in the comments, unstoppable light, and let all of heaven and every force of darkness hear it in agreement. This is your moment. This is your confirmation.